Okay, so everyone wants to stay ahead of the curve, right? See what's coming down the pike.
Absolutely.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something specific happening in Florida. This proposed Kratom Bill, HB 1489.
Mhm.
If you frequent kava bars that also serve kratom, or you're just keeping an eye on regulations, this one's probably on your radar.
It should be, yeah.
Our mission here is just to unpack what this bill really means. What are the nuts and bolts? Especially thinking about that potential July 1st, 2025 start date.
Right. And it's important to say this isn't just tweaking things. HB 1489 really aims to, significantly change how kratom is handled in Florida. Tighter regulations, basically.
Tighter regulations. Okay. So compared to how things are now, what are the big changes we'd see?
Well, the core idea is targeting what the bill calls unsafe kratom.
Unsafe. What does that mean in this context?
It means products that don't have clear directions for use or ones making health claims that aren't backed up. And a big one, products containing high levels of 7-HMG.
Okay, 7-HMG. You mentioned that. For those of us not deep in the chemistry, why the focus on that specific alkaloid? What's the deal there?
That's a fair question. So 7-HMG is generally understood to be one of the more, potent compounds in kratom.
Ah, okay.
So regulators tend to zoom in on its levels, likely due to concerns about, stronger effects. But beyond banning certain things, the bill also brings in new requirements.
Like what?
Mandatory lab testing, and state registration for all kratom products sold in Florida. If it's on a shelf for sale, it needs to be tested, and it needs to be registered, period.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like a major shift. What happens if a business, say a kava bar, doesn't follow these new rules?
The state gets teeth. They'd have the power to issue fines, for one.
Right.
They could also seize any products that aren't compliant. And, in cases of repeated issues or serious violations, potentially shut the business down.
Shut them down.
Really, it's on the table. Plus, there's another geographic piece. They might ban kratom use in bars that are located near schools.
Interesting. Another layer.
Exactly. And just to be super clear, the rule about being 21 or over to buy kratom already law and stays in place. This bill just adds all these other rules on top.
Got it. So, okay, let's focus on the kava bars that do serve kratom. This sounds like it could really hit their day-to-day operations. What are the direct impacts they should brace for?
Oh, definitely. Expect operating costs to go up, probably almost right away.
How so?
Well, think about it. Mandatory testing for every batch, that costs money. New labeling requirements, that takes time and resources. And this need to source kratom only from state-approved suppliers. That's a big one.
Right, the approved suppliers, that could shrink the pool of who they can buy from.
Precisely. We might see fewer kratom suppliers who can actually meet these new, stricter standards. That forces bars to maybe find completely new vendors they haven't worked with before.
And the risk, if they slip up, if they sell kratom that isn't registered.
It sounds pretty serious. We're talking significant fines, like we said, and maybe even closure. That's a huge risk.
And financially, I've heard kratom can be a pretty big part of the business for some kava bars.
It really can be.
Yeah.
You sometimes hear figures like 30 or even 40% of revenue coming from kratom sales in some places.
Wow.
So yeah, these regulations could seriously squeeze their profitability. It might even, unfortunately, lead to some places having to close their doors. It's a real possibility.
Okay, this is pretty sobering stuff for those businesses. If you own a kava bar, or maybe you just really like your local spot, what can people actually do to prepare or react?
Good question. Proactive steps are key. Bar owners probably need to be talking to their current kratom suppliers, like right now,
To ask what specifically?
to figure out, hey, can you actually meet these maybe supporting petitions or directly contacting state representative, perhaps arguing for specific exemptions or different considerations for established kava bars.
Any other strategies?
Well, there's always the option to lean more heavily into kava itself. Remind customers that kava has its own distinct legal status. It's not facing these same proposed regulations. Focus on that side of the business.
Right. So recapping, HB 1489 isn't like a full-stop ban on kratom in Florida.
No, not an outright ban.
But it brings in some major changes, significant new rules, costs, potential risks. Especially for kava bars offering kratom, it sounds like it's definitely going to reshape that scene.
Exactly. Reshape is a good word. Kratom might still be legally available if this passes, but the whole landscape for businesses selling it could look quite different come July 2025.
It really makes you think, though, beyond just these specific legal hurdles in Florida, What other kinds of pressures or, market shifts might influence the future for places trying to balance both kava and kratom? Definitely something to keep thinking about as this all unfolds.